back to the yeah.
Wow. Well,
Oh,
welcome, welcome. Well, okay, so I'm gonna start recording this. We're on fire. Hi, Sarah Gibson. And is that Adam? Up, who's up in the corner?
yes,
Hey,
Adam
hi.
is in my group. What's up, Adam? You can unmute. Say hello, man. Unmute.
Yeah, talk. Everybody on mute. We're here to,
Unmute, Adam.
he's trying.
No problem.
How's everybody
So
doing?
when it's funny because when Peggy like reached out to me yesterday, hey, can you speak the very next day? It's almost like with this, a panel, right? Like a Moose asked a question and I'm right next to him. So I literally have no time to process anything because how many seconds can you pause when everybody in the crowd is looking at you? So, but I guess
Hmm.
that's when I do better. Because if
Oh, yeah.
paralysis by now, right? Paralysis analysis is which is a big thing. So just kind of just go with it. So how many people do we have on here so far? I can't even see.
I can't see. They come in slowly
10.
here.
Okay.
10, I got 12 on mine.
Okay,
So
it's
that's
going up.
include,
I got
yeah,
11.
it's going up. It's going up. It's going up. So Tina Jacobson just joined, and I'm so happy. I think she's driving, but she's in my downline. She's on my second level. And so I'm actually in Orlando because I had a pivot. This hurricane just kind of whatever. And now I get to, after this, I get to go see Tina and hang out with her. So for a little while. So it's all really, really, really good. So, oh, I'm having withdrawals.
Yeah, it was a great event, and I'm going to be on, just speaking because I'm a grown up and stuff. Like only having a couple of drinks each day definitely helped me. Right. I've been to other events where you just go out, have a good time, even if you're like at a dinner with everybody, you just have multiple drinks. And for me, it was the best EXP event I've ever been to. I felt like I had the most clarity. I had the most clarity that I've ever had. I was able to really, you go to so many things and you wonder which one of them is ever going to be the one that impacts you the most and you get the most feelings of stuff. And that's actually what I got out of this. I'm sure my daughter had something to do with it. But, even Anthony being there, Anthony's become such a good friend of mine over the last year or so. So it just really felt like a family in there. So that was important to me.
One of the things that I'm finding is that there are so many great things to go to. And let's face it, we all can't afford to go to everything. And it gets hard on what you want to spend your money on and where you want to go. So want to talk about that later on planning and budgeting and things like that. But okay, let's get this totally started because we have so much to share. I want to say hi to Stacy Bray, Sarah Gibson, Katie, Tucker's here. And Tucker was one with me the week before at the Dallas event. And every single one of them is different. And someone said to me, well, why do you go to all these events? Well, I'm fortunate I can. However, you get something different out of every single one of them. And that's, it frustrates me because there's so much good stuff. And I don't know if there's ever a way, how Tony Robbins sells a package, and you can do everything up on screen. I think, maybe even that would be good for some people if we could do that. But I'm on fire. Gene, I was on Gene's general's call the other day, and he texted me. He goes, "What are you drinking?" He goes, "You couldn't shut you up," and I love it. And I got here back to my friend's house. Thank God they answered their phone at 6 in the morning when I was on the ship trying to figure out where I was going in Orlando. I mean, I'm not in Orlando. I'm in Jacksonville. I don't even know where I am. And I came in and Bob said, "You got to stop this dancing." He goes, "I can't keep up with you because I'm dancing around the living room." And I'm like, the energy from this one, am I wrong? But was the energy on this one like super high? So I'm just going to throw it out. This is your guys' thing. I want to share notes. And so jump in.
You want to go
Well,
first, Anthony? Yeah, let
sure,
Anthony.
sure. I'll go first. It's always hard to follow you, buddy.
What the hell are you talking?
So, obviously Eugene and Mitch Rayback, they were amazing on stage, and Go-Go's Fire and so many other speakers and just the vendors. I actually got an appointment later on today with the VA. I've been really kicking the VA around just because I don't like cold calling and stuff, and I want to give that a little bit of a shot to see, what works with that. And Brent, that was the first time I saw, believe it or not, saw Brent live on stage, and just the
Wow.
energy off him is just like electrifies the room. It's
Yeah.
like he had me laughing and jumping and just very interactive. And one of his main things that I took, like, what you focus on expands. If you're all worried about the NAR lawsuit and, oh my God, how are we going to do this, blah blah blah, it's going to be tough times for you. But there's going to be a lot of opportunities because there's going to be a lot of realtors in pain right now, and that's when you could make them move. And recruiting, he's focusing on the recruiting. How big and how this could really help in your recruiting part of it. If the obviously inventory is low and interest rates, so maybe you shift over a little bit more to recruiting until supposedly these rates are going to go down a little here. We'll see what happens. But yeah, it was just amazing. And he said, another thing Brent said is quoted by Eleanor Roosevelt,
Eleanor
Oh,
excuse me. No,
Roosevelt.
nobody can make you feel inferior without your consent, and it's like so many times we talk to some other agents and sometimes clients and whoever, and it's just like, if you just put that, and he's like, don't take it personal. Like, what made them get like that? Maybe you don't know what happened to them. He used a pit bull, or any dogs, and any dog could be mean, any dog could be nice. But if you got a dog that's got a real hurt paw, and you go and you touch that paw, he may nip at you, and sometimes we might be, that person that's getting nipped at, So I just love that whole perspective of it, and yeah, he was amazing, really. Okay. Oh,
No,
you gonna say, Peggy?
I loved it.
that was
I thought
great.
the pit bull thing, I never thought I would hear a great analogy about a pit bull. And Brent was on fire. I recorded the whole thing. I'm not techie savvy, but I would like to post it in our Wake Up
Oh,
Wednesday.
please do, please do.
I will figure out a way how to do that. So what was like your biggest was this your first event, Anthony?
That was my first build event. I've been to every EXP con, and
Okay.
like I said, those could get a little overwhelming. Where do I go? What time? It's all day. I mean, this was just like 3 hours of focused on that, and it was like really like a family and business trip in one. And it's great because the whole trip's a write off because we did business on board, and I hope they do another one on board. I'd like to see more agents come because it was amazing.
And I want everybody kind of to jump in. Holly, you've been to quite a few events. This is my third event with Holly. So
I
we did
know.
we're good traveling partners. We did Cabo, which I think Cabo is amazing. And that's another event, just if you're thinking about saving, FYI, it's an all-inclusive, and people bring their family there as well. So we've done Cabo, we've done the retreat. We did this cruise, and then we're going to do EXP Con. And Holly, you're involved with EXP on. Well, just jump in and tell everybody what you do.
No, so I'm on the AAC, on the
I'm in
National
AAC, not EXP
Yeah.
Cons.
Yeah, I'm involved in the National AAC, and I have gone to every EXP con since I've been here since 2018. I have gone. Cabo was always my favorite one until this. This is very close. I like the small, intimate. Like you said, Anthony Brent was on fire. He always motivates me. I don't care how busy you are, just going to these things will give you a recharge that you need, even if if you're a top agent, it just gives you a recharge. I wrote those things down too. It's funny because I had down what you focus on expands, because that is so true. It's your mindset. And he also said that the key to moving forward is to fail with velocity. Do it fast, get over it, move on. And one of the things that, there was two things. Coach Bird had said, go to bed tired and wake up hungry, because we all
Awesome.
have we all have these, things are going good, and you're still celebrating for the whole week. Well, go to bed. That win is over. It's time for another one. You got to move on. And also too, Anthony, I had a call yesterday with the VAs as well, because I think as a real estate agent, we all have that type A personality, and we're control freaks and ADD, and you think you can do everything yourself, but you can't. And, find out what you're good at and outsource or delegate the rest. And I don't know if you did the little test that they did, take your gross income and divide it by 2,080, and that gives you your hourly rate. When you look at your hourly rate and you look at what a VA, you're like, oh my gosh, I am doing all of this. And then I started yesterday when I got back to the office, I started taking up, and we're all guilty of paying $100 or $200 a month for this and that, all these systems. And these VAs will do exactly what you need to do. So I had a short call yesterday, and I've got a call next week, and I'm super excited about getting those things going and putting some systems. I've been resistant to this because I know we talked about it, Peggy, when we were at the retreat and also at Cabo, and I still haven't implemented it. And I guess it took this and that little calculator to see, okay, I'm not getting further than I already am because I'm doing the max that I can do without working 24/7. So, I figured out I've got to do what I like to do and what I do best, and to delegate and outsource the rest. Those
So
were one of my big takeaways.
I want to jump in on the VA thing because, at my former KW, I was a team leader in different offices for 16 years. I don't care if I was on the East Coast, the middle, wherever I was. The resistance to hiring an assistant, to leveraging, it just blew my mind. And I'm sure there are people on this Zoom that are thinking, well, I can do it. I can do it. So what makes you pivot and realize finally that you do need that help? I know the dollar amount is huge when you see that. What about the agent that is not making a lot of money, but they're in the weeds? They're getting ready to get ready. Well, I was blown away. And I know this makes my heart break when I hear that they're working for $3, $4, $6 an hour. But I think even a new agent at this point can afford this, because you have to, if you're a hairdresser, you got to buy your scissors and your tools, whether you're a carpenter or whatever. What do you think as top producers, what holds you back from doing something like this sooner? Eugene.
Well, one of the cool things about Bob, so a lot of these people were all differently talking about mindset. And I think the key, whether it's me who's, had some success or somebody who's new, is it all starts with personal development, right? When we're trying to find a real reason, if we don't have our act together, how can we delegate to somebody what they need to do? So I think the biggest thing is we need to refocus on ourselves and get our personal development moving in the right trajectory. And then that opens up the doors to so many other things. So I think that has to come first. And part of that also is with how much you make in an hour and stuff like that. And I think once you have that, then you can figure out how to delegate to somebody. That's just for me, because I don't have a VA yet. So I have a transaction coordinator. Yeah, I have a transaction coordinator, but no VA.
So I'm just looking on my phone because I took screenshots, and I was kind of like, all right, even in the role that I am, I could use help, but do I have to train them? What are some of the things? So just a real quick, the top VA positions are an executive admin. They do transaction coordinating. Social media is huge. Video editor, internal recruiter, ISA was the cold caller, accounting and sales admin. And I'm looking at that slide thinking, oh my God, that's, you know, that's going to be a lot of money. So let me just give you, and by the way, this company is Sphere Rocket. If you don't know who they are, you've got to look them up. Ashley's not on the call today. I can't talk and chat box. So if anybody wants to write in this for me, I'd appreciate it. And you don't have to do all this. I can even upload these. Okay, so for $4 an hour. Email management. Hello, I have 89,000 emails. Brent sat down next to me and he's like, oh my God, I got 10,000 emails. And we were talking and I said, dude, look at this. I don't even know what to do with them. So they can go through and delete them. Schedule management, appointment confirmation. How about this? They pay your personal bills. Hello, track your personal finances, audit them, make your travel plans, make your doctor and dentist appointments, coordinate and handles ongoing projects, attends every Zoom call, and reviews everyday phone calls via recording for notes. Guys, that's $4 an hour.
Yeah. Those were things, Peggy, and you hit the nail on the head because that was one of the things that I've always been very resistant. I do have a transaction coordinator. I've had an admin. I've never had a VA because in my mind, like you said, they gave ideas of what they do for them because you don't know what you need. You don't know what you don't know, and you don't know what you need. And you're like, how is a VA? It's going to cause, at least for me, I was like, it's going to make more work for me because
Exactly.
I'm going to have to train them. I'm going to have to do this. They train them. They're all set up based on what you need with this call, and like I said, track some of the things that you pay people to do. Like I was tracking my transaction coordinator. I also have a bookkeeper that I pay monthly. All of these things that I could probably wipe out and have certain positions for. So I'm super excited. I've been very resistant to this and I've heard it, but because this was such a small, intimate setting, I had time and they had time to really talk to me because I don't know what I don't know and I don't know what I need. And as a busy agent, you get to a point you only can do what you can do. If you hire before you need it, you're going to be able to scale at a greater
100%.
than what you are now.
And I think it was a takeaway in Bill Dallas, and it was a huge takeaway on here. So let's think about this. With this NAR settlement, the way we do business is going to change. Before we get to just meet a buyer and, hey, how are you? Run into a house and go. We really focused on doing an amazing listing presentation, man. We were going to spend hours on our listing presentation. And quite honestly, our buyers got the short end of the stick on some of those. Some agents do more, some agents do less. Now you're required to know this, to be able to explain it. The fines are huge, guys, and there's no warning on this. One of the things, maybe it was on Gene's Generals, there could be jail time. I mean, that got my attention. Someone talked about that on the call, that you could go to jail if you mess this up. Well, if that doesn't scare the heck out, I don't look good at stripes. I mean, it just ain't happening. And so what are you going to do? What are you spending your time on? Are you like me trying to figure out a reel? Are you trying to do social media? For $6 they can do content, edit content, drive traffic, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook Reels, Instagram Reels, podcasts, social media for teams, run your Facebook group and event. $6 an hour. If they have, I don't know, do they have a minimum requirement? I feel like this is a commercial for Sphere Rocket, guys. It's not. This is a commercial for how top producers are working and leverage. Because you, honest to God, have to pay more. I've had my license 40 years this month. I have to pay more attention now to be able to explain this, because people know you're in real estate. Whether they're thinking of buying or selling, they hear you're in real estate, everybody's chit-chatting about this. They're going to want to know the answer. So I will get off my soapbox on that. Get a VA, leverage yourself. Did you hear that one of them had like 15 VAs to do all this different stuff up there?
They'll clean out your emails for you too, which could be very valuable because my inbox is just ugly.
that's my first hire. So,
And it's a
okay,
I'm
wanna-
sorry, real quick. Just
Yeah.
like on those positions that you mentioned, like those are $10, $15 an hour, you know, and they tell you to figure out how much you're making an hour. Hopefully it's $50, $100 an hour. Why are you doing $10 and $15 an hour jobs when you could hire somebody for $4 and you could focus on the closing and get more, you know, recruiting or whatever you need to do, and it just frees up so much time. So I'll end on that with the VA.
I have to figure out how to send you guys. What I did a lot of was audio recording. I didn't want to hold for 40 minutes. I got to figure out. So GoGo said, so GoGo and Coach Burt really for me like broke it down simplistically. So just so if you guys don't know GoGo, she's a beast. She hasn't made less than $1 million a year since 2019. But here's the interesting thing for the newer agents. Her first year in the business, she did not icon. Okay, she did $16,000 in sales. So some people were out there like, "Oh, I'm not having a great year. It's my first year." You're crushing her in her first year. But the
thank you
interest, but
saying
the
that.
interest, yeah, but the interesting thing about it is it's not just well hire out somebody to do all this. It's that we're not good at that. So what she said is with all the stuff that you don't have time that you can't do or you're not even good at doing it, pay somebody else to do that, and then you get back to what you are good at doing on your wheelhouse, and then your business is just going to go through the roof. So I thought that was really cool about that, because once you take that off your table, like for example, I may not be the best social media person. I may not be the best admin or whatever. And so when you find people that specialize in that, you get back to where you're going to excel in your business. So I just
So true. And it is the other I just hit something on my screen. Sorry guys. Whoops. All right. The other thing is think about this. I love breaking things down. How many of you drink Starbucks coffee? Do you stop and get a coffee? What do you drink? How many people get a glass of wine in a restaurant or a bottle of wine or whatever it is? You know, cocktails are $20 now. You give up, you know, 5 cocktails, make them at home, whatever. Packs of cigarettes. This is so inexpensive. I don't want to hear any excuses on why people aren't doing this. Question, GoGo was talking about different apps. Was it ManyChat? Did I write that down wrong? Did anybody catch that one? She was talking about a couple of different apps that she uses.
I think if you go on workplace chat, the WhatsApp we had, a couple of them were posted in there.
Then we'll get that for you guys too. What are some of the others? So we're going to get off our VA soapbox, but leverage. What were some of the other huge takeaways that you had?
Well, I love Brent Gove's mindset on just the whole NAR thing, right? We're over here, so just to break it down for you, he basically explained the scenario if you were the buyer's agent, right? And you're calling up the listing agent and you're asking them, are they paying? And instead of like going there with your hands out begging for commission, you're basically letting them know that you have a prime buyer. And he asked the listing agent, well, what commission is the seller paying? And the listing agent came back and said 2.5%. He said, nope, that's not good enough. I have a prime buyer right here. You know, and whatever he said, the way he broke it down. My point is, it's the mindset. You go into that, you know, that way. And if you have a little bit of a track record of selling property, for me, that's how I'm going into every conversation. Basically, the way from a buyer's agent standpoint, and especially if you have a buyer that could barely pay for their own closing costs, I'm going to be like, don't worry, I got this. I'm going to get this done. And when you get that done, the type of referrals that you are going to get from those buyers down the road, like, who cares that we have to figure out how to pay our commissions? You get a guy like Eugene, and he's going to make it happen. So I just thought that the mindset, and then also culture. Bobby Billions really broke it down, the fundamentals of culture, and I want to just go over. It was just really awesome what he was saying. It was kind of like the building blocks for it. he basically said, um, culture is a family that endures everything together. And personal development was the foundation. So before you could start a culture of everybody else, you got to work on your own personal development. And he said, what we're doing is we're developing leaders to develop leaders and paying it forward. And what I loved about this event at Build is, we've seen people like me, and then you see people like GoGo, right? And then you just see, other. So it was great to see different phases of people in their career rather than just not the person that's doing 2 or 3 million a year. And that's developing leaders to develop leaders. And I'm really intrigued by Florida. Like I'm here in Melbourne, we're kind of outside of Orlando. But what those offices have going on out there is they got real culture, and you could see they've developed leaders that are developing other leaders and helping other people grow. So I thought that was pretty amazing from them.
Huge, 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 huge. Holly, you took tons of notes, and your husband sat through it as well. I mean, it's not like he's off doing whatever at the casino. He's right there with you, and that's just so powerful for you. And not every spouse can come. I get that. But what was some of his takeaways? Because he's been just a few events, and I don't want to speak for him, but you can.
Yes, he loves the smaller events as well. He'll just tell you if you talk to him and you ask him what part does he play in our role in our business, he'll tell you he's the sign and the lockbox guy. But he's one of those quiet little nugget kind of guys. And the same thing with outsourcing. He sees how much that I do and outsourcing a lot of the things on and one of the things that he had said that he had heard in there is um, it had to do with the revenue share. And I think Mitch was talking about the revenue share.
Mitch
And
Ryback,
when a lot of people are leaving this business and they're pivoting or they're moving, they're making moves. And he had found that when he starts talking revenue share, people shut down. They shut down, they think it's a bad word. So he calls revenue share referral fees because agents understand referral fees. And that was one of his big takeaways. He said, I quit talking revenue share. I quit talking, recruiting agents. And I talk about referral fees from agents that you bring in because that's a language that every realtor can speak.
that was huge. And I talk about this with people that I'm coaching, and I know Jean talks about this too. That recruiting word, for some reason, think about it. You watch the drafts on TV for basketball or this, and it's recruiting. Who's going to recruit and who's going to make the most money? And oh my God, people are excited that they're getting recruited to this college or, national team. Why is it when we're talking about recruiting to a real estate company, it's a dirty word? I don't get that. There are headhunters. I think a headhunter is a bad word, but that's just me and my mindset. So let's go with attraction. Let's use the word attraction. I love that they're talking about referral fees. And the Mitch also everyone talked about abundance, and if I asked every single one of you right now what your value proposition is, can you tell me right off the top of your head? That's huge right now. Because if you don't believe in yourself, if you don't have the mindset of abundance, Eugene, you talked about this. Brent was like, get rid of that. If you're telling yourself stories about what's going to happen with NAR, if you're hanging out with other agents that are like, oh my God, the sky is falling, it's Chicken Little, get rid of them, guys. It's okay to recycle your circle of friends and colleagues that you hang around with. What rooms are you showing up? What table? I have this thing that everybody deserves a seat at the table. Well, it just reminds me of the book Good to Great. Everybody deserves a seat on the bus. But are you on the right bus? Are you on the right seat? So I'd love for you to step back and analyze the people that you're associating with. What are they talking about? We are a company right now. And by the way, our CEO, Leo, please mark your calendars down. We need to have a freaking turnout for this because it's a gift. He is going to be our guest on Wake Up Wednesday on August 21st.
Oh.
Use that as an event to invite people on. I know some places it's early in the morning, but seriously, have you seen the news in the real estate industry about Leo and Inman and about how other companies are looking to us because we were ahead of everyone? We got right on this and they're using our forms. And I'm going to have Phil Hahn on. He might be on next week. I'm not sure. I'll let you know. He's got all these scripts. He's teaching scripts about doing this. So when you're looking at small companies right now, and don't go, oh my God, you have to come to EXP. I want you to come from abundance and a gift and call them up and say, you know, tell me how you're doing with this. How's your broker handling this? And come from your heart and be able to have the conversation of you and I could be on opposite sides of the deal. I don't know if you're going to. Yes.
Can I say something to this?
Yes.
I mean, first thing, that goes through my head on like the VC stuff is if you can put your time into study time, learning what's going on, learn it well, because you do not know who might pick up the phone and call you. And it may be the people around you that are not talking positive. You might be able to help them understand through your own education how it really is. And that's a good attraction time. So my story this last week, I spent time studying what Leo was saying. I sent him a note, thanked him for everything he did on his vacations, what he was trying to get across to the whole industry and be a collaborator in the industry and being that leader. And here I am. I mean, I can't tell you how proud I am of EXP right now. I think EXP is leading the charge on this. So after I spent, I don't know, I think I had like 5 hours of study time into what is going on, because all of a sudden it's like, okay, it's coming. I better be ready. And I have mentees that I have to lead as well. And so I'm studying up on this stuff. And lo and behold, I get a phone call from my past broker. And I was just dumbfounded that they, number one, called me. But I was excited because I was able to help them understand what it is that EXP is doing and why. And I don't know if it helped or hurt. He's kind of the quiet one. But I sent him 2 videos that I had been reviewing that week. And then I had a conversation, and this is why I'm so proud of EXP. I had a conversation with Leo.
Yes.
I had sent him a note. I thanked him for all what he was doing. And then I said, and oh, by the way, my past broker called me. He was so Johnny on the spot on telling me, you get them on a call. I will talk to them. I will recruit them and put them under you. And, I mean, it's amazing what our leaders can do. I mean, I don't think that my past broker is ever going to move from what they're doing. They have
wait a minute.
Well, I know. I've told myself this. If anybody can do it, he can. I'm just telling you.
Let's reframe that.
No,
nope.
I know. Well, first I have to tell you their legacy. And Daddy is still alive, and they are not doing anything until Daddy passes. So
okay,
until
stop.
that
Hold
point.
Hold on, Stacy, stop. Because I'm going to tell you something. Hold on. 10 years ago, 15 years ago, in Narragansett, I was at KW, Ken Monroe, family business, since 1960. Everybody said you're crazy. It's family. The family's still alive. The father started it, blah, 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 blah. They came.
Right.
True
I know.
story.
And
Move
I
on.
mean, it's planting seeds. That's what
Exactly.
it is. And I'm not here to say that they won't ever. I'm
Right.
just saying that at this time it's not going to happen. And I don't know if anybody can get through to helping them understand the EXP culture, it's going to be Leo.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, this could be huge because they have 50 people in their office. So
So focus on-
I'm not saying it's not going to happen. It's just right now it is a legacy to daddy, and daddy is still with them. It's not going to happen while daddy's with them. So
I'm gonna move off of that.
Stacey?
It's not gonna happen. Hold on. I'm gonna move off of that's not gonna happen, and we're gonna let Leo make it happen. How's that?
yep,
I
he'll
think
plant
that's
the
so,
seeds. We'll get it there. But right now,
so
having
Holly,
Leo there is amazing.
it is. Holly, do you sorry, Stace. Holly's gotta jump off because I know she does another call. What do you want to close with, Holly? And then we're gonna let
So
Dee
I was going to say, Stacy, you're doing all the right things. You've got your head down. You're not listening to the outside noise because, again, what Anthony said, what you focus on expands, and you're focusing on the good things and how we're leading the charge. And those people that never say never, they will come. They're all going to come. Even talking with, listening to Mitch and listening to GoGo, Mitch was like, I had so many people say, why didn't you ever call me? And GoGo was like, you never called me. We're in the same market. He never called GoGo. I've had that happen. So now's the time. People are leaving. People are looking for somebody for that positive influence. So just keep on keeping on. And Stacy, doing what you're doing, you're doing exactly. You're listening to all the right things, being in all the right rooms, and keeping your head down and focusing on the positive.
You got this, Stacy. You got it. And you got Leo in your corner. Bye,
Sorry.
Holly.
Bye, Holly. What Brent was saying, pain makes you move. And there's going to be a lot of people that are going through pain right now. And I think we're also blessed to be with EXP because there's everything, all the information is there on NAR. It's up to you to take advantage of the classes and reach out to people. And it's just like these little mom and pop brokerages like that have been doing it 30, 40 years and already made their money. Do you think they're going to go and learn all this? Or are they going to be calling, people like Stacy and, asking, for help. And that's why recruiting is going to be huge. I mean, what, we're a week away from this really kicking in, a week or two, and the opportunities are going to be huge, I think, really, to recruit. And not, don't even go just offer help and, hey, come on this class and explain a little, and you got your buyer's your buyer's presentation ready. It's just like, don't freak out. It's just a listing presentation. Treat your buyer's presentation, show your value just like a listing presentation, and that's it. That's what EXP has been pushing from the beginning.
They have. And Gene will tell you that he has talked to more independent companies, just like the one you're talking to, and they're waving the white flag because they're scared. They don't want to go to jail. Everybody knows what the fines are. If that's one thing we do. So Stacey, I love what you're doing. I'm just like, you know me, I'm about, okay, I want you to just say, this is a great conversation. We're moving forward on this and Leo will make it happen. That's all. Just focus on that, because what a compliment to you that your broker called you. That's what we're celebrating here. That's unbelievable. So I want to jump down to Dee Dee. Dee Dee, it looks like you're still in Florida. Last time I talked to you yesterday, you were supposed to be getting on a plane. What happened? Oh, you're muted. Can't hear you. You're still muted. It's not coming through. It's not coming through. Let's give her a second because she brought her family. Something's wrong. Go on.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Hi, Dee Dee.
Okay, my headphones, but I can't hear you. So I can hear you like little tiny bit. It's my headphones. So my headphones. I'm still in Orlando at the hotel. I was lucky to get a room. A lot of people were canceled, so we came back here. I won't fly out till tonight. I was on the phone just before I hopped on, so I apologize for being late. I don't regret being here though, because it's terrible up home. But I do have a puppy that I have to tend to. So, but it's so happy. I'm happy to see you, Peggy. I told you I'd be here, and I didn't want to disappoint. I
Thank
loved
you.
the event. I love everything that I'm listening to. Stacy, I kind of walked into your conversation. I'll hop on the recorded call to get to check it out. Yeah, I learned a whole bunch, guys. Brent was great. Coach Burt was amazing. I'll give you some highlights though that I walked away with quickly. I have them all in order. Um, he mentioned, and maybe you guys heard it before, the comfort zone is the dead zone. Today doesn't care about
Yeah.
yesterday. It all goes back to zero at midnight, guys. Every day, start hungry, start with new energy, and cut through the noise. Cut through the noise. I think Peggy just said that. He went through this wonderful formula he has that is it's going from A to B, that you should list your frustrations, the current frustrations, then form a strategy to execute so you can have a better future. Whatever goal you have, strategize and execute. And I started doing this while in the airport, guys, starting my strategy. Intentional congruency. He mentioned passive income should be more than your living expenses. He mentioned aim for level 10 opportunity. Not
Talk
the
a little
path,
bit about that, because
not
that
the,
was
yeah.
great.
So the aim for level 10 opportunity, not the path of least resistance. He said that your actions should prove highly profitable, highly meaningful, and highly enjoyable, which I like best. And that you should have an ROI, which means the I for investment, the ROO, O meaning objective, and an ROE, that with the E standing for energy. So you should have an ROI, ROO, and ROE. Very important. And the last thing he said, and that was under the aim for level 10, that your actions should be highly profitable, highly meaningful, and highly enjoyable. And that those three things should lead to an ROI, a good ROI. I meaning investment. You should have ROO, a return on your objective, and ROE, a return on your energy. Always come with good energy, full on energy. And the last thing that I have listed that I took away from his amazing speech, among many, many other things, is that where there's no pain, there's no change. And a lot of people are not willing to go through the pain that we're going through now with learning all the new contracts and agreements and just learning how to talk to buyers and doing that presentation for buyers. If you're not willing to go through that pain, that there's no change. And that goes for overall everything in life. I did get his book. Um, he was really amazing. He autographed it for me. So that was so cool. And I want to get his other books, but we had a little one-on-one really quickly before he left, and he just said, don't listen to any of this crap that's going on and the misinformation. There's tons of it out there. EXP is doing an amazing job at teaching us, training us, keeping us up to date. We should just do what they say. Leo, it's been amazing. My state broker in New Jersey has been full on with our trainings, giving extra trainings between our weekly meetings. And I've been there for all of them. And guys, I feel very confident. I feel fearless. That was another thing that what they were telling us, right, Peggy? Be fearless, be strong, go out there and help others in the meantime, because that comes back to us 100 times. And Peggy, I want to thank you. I saw Peggy. We walked around, we got off the ship, we did so many things. And I ran into Peggy throughout, and I was so excited to see a friendly face, somebody I knew, and I'm like, oh my God. And then guys, I mean, this built event, even though I'm a newbie, I learned so much about building a team and how and what to do about attracting agents and all that good stuff. So my mind is blown. I'm still healing. I'm super energized. I want to get home and take action. But you know, this lovely pool behind me is not a bad thing to deal with in the meantime. And just to have internet connection to see you guys and be with me here today. I'm sorry about the hair, guys. I'm living out of luggage. My luggage doesn't have everything, but I'm here, and I love you guys, and I wish you all luck. and get out there and forget about everybody else that's the naysayers and all that stuff. I'm not listening to them. I'm listening to my Peggy, my crew here with you guys, the people that coached us, spoke to us. Eugene, is he on? Because I don't see everybody. Eugene,
Yeah.
you were amazing. I don't forget you, everything Eugene said. I have his things too. I'll quickly say it. Eugene said, keep the momentum. That's the big fire right there. Keep the momentum. Don't get complacent. Be relentless. Be you. Be fearless. Eugene, I hear you. You're here. Your daughter's beautiful, and your words stuck with me. Everybody who spoke, their words spoke with me. The stuff on AI, you guys, I don't know if you covered it. The new search engine is amazing. SOE is going to change, so keep an eye out for that. Carrie was amazing, and I'll leave you with that. Just be fearless. Cut through the noise. Peggy, I'm sorry if I overspoke, if I went crazy.
She's
I'm
awesome.
just so excited.
Love her energy. Love your energy.
Can you hear us?
It gave me some personal one-on-one time. I love you for that, because man, Brent cried like 100 times. I cried with him, but every time I remember everybody who gave me like 5 seconds, or even the 360 camera that we had fun together. Eugene, I mean, when Brent, I looked over the video when Brent spoke about your daughter and you're being proud of her. That made me cry, right?
I was
cried.
crying too. I was
Oh.
crying.
So,
Oh, Eugene, thank you so much. I'll give you the mic, Peggy. I can go
so
on.
Dee Dee, okay, I got to tell you 2 things before I forget. There's a picture on the flyer, and it is on the flyer that we put together for this. I wanted it there especially because Eugene is sitting there. I shot a picture of the back of him, and he's got his arm around his daughter. So not only is he on the flyer with his daughter with the hat, the love that he had, he kept just hugging her, and she was so proud, and he was so proud of her. Dee Dee, when I saw you, I mean, you are a ball of fire on these calls. My God, people, if you see her in person, she is.
I love her energy.
Dee Dee, what time is your flight? I'm on my way to Orlando.
Oh, my flight is at 7:15 p.m. It was at midnight. We were able to change it up a little bit, and we're still going to go to the airport after we check out at noon, and we're going to hopefully be on standby. We got to get there earlier, but I wish you luck. Hopefully no more delays, no more cancellations. But listen, everything, we have to work around it, and I am so grateful because everything I learned kept me energized and said, this is worth it.
No
It's
kidding.
so darn worth it.
When everybody else is like exhausted, I came here and slept at my girlfriend's house for almost 12 hours. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. So you said so many good things, and I can't even, because I'm like, yeah.
She said everything.
Think about this. Dee Dee's a brand new, first, hey, Dee Dee, how'd you get that t-shirt?
I'll
Unmute
tell
her.
you. Eyes and ears. Veronica said, who wants a t-shirt? They had extras. I'm like, oh my
At the end, yeah, they were throwing them. They were throwing
Oh,
them.
they were throwing them. And sad thing, I was speaking with Ransom, one of the cameramen, and the t-shirt fell on his shoulder, and I grabbed it, and he's like, hey, my hair. I'm like, I'm relentless. I gotta get one of the t-shirts. So I got it, guys. It's awesome. I don't know if you've seen it. It's
It was
really
like
cool.
being at a concert.
Come again?
It was like being at a concert when they could throw
Absolutely.
the audience.
Absolutely. I wanted to be part of it all. But I'm sure they have extras, Peggy. You might want to just email Veronica. Maybe
Or
message her.
Carlos. Maybe
Or
reach out to
Carlos.
Carlos. I'll reach out to
Carlos,
Carlos and
yeah.
see if we can get some
Do
more.
you have yours on, Eugene? I see you wearing black. Do you have yours?
Oh my gosh. So
It's crazy.
okay.
We can't get off this ship, you know?
I know. Okay, so we've got a lot of people that are like, what are these people smoking? Did they the air through the cabins? I mean, seriously, I don't know. What are you guys feeling now? What are some of the questions you have? Stacy, you are building Dallas. Stacy with an I. I love that. That's Stacy Bray taught me that. Stacy with an I.
It was awesome. Sounds like you guys had a fun time on the cruise. That's crazy. Who was all the speakers?
Oh, there were so many of them. You know, Veronica Figueroa kind of spearheaded this. If you don't know who Veronica is, please look her up. Stacy, what are, what you're a week and a half, almost 2 weeks now, tomorrow that we went to the event in Dallas. What have you implemented? Have you implemented? Because that's our biggest thing. We go to these events and then we do nothing.
I've implemented agent attraction. Like now I am doing videos on creating value for other realtors. Now, before I wasn't doing that. I would send emails to realtors and stuff like that, but now I'm actually doing videos and giving them value that way, just kind of focusing more on the agent attraction thing.
Cool. Is there, tell me 2 things that you're doing differently.
The videos.
Okay, so what are your videos like?
Like talking about the importance of relationship with your clients and being aware of like what their needs are, and asking a lot of questions and kind of being aware of their how they're reacting to what you're saying, and just being more aware of them. So that's about the only thing that I'm implementing.
That's huge. I mean, that's not the only thing. That's a huge thing, because in every note that I took here, and some of the things that they talked about were being intentional. You got to be intentional right now. We're all trying to, give me 1 second, we're all trying to learn so much that we're going to hit a huge burnout too, guys. And then we're going to get frustrated again, because it's like, we got the juice, we got the gold. And we're going to be like, why aren't people drinking from this fountain? So we have to try and find consistency. We have to pour into ourselves. That's absolutely huge too. Somebody said that work-life balance is just like, forget it. It's almost impossible to do. So we got to get that out of our heads and stop judging ourselves if we don't have work-life balance. Because there was a mother up on stage. She's a widow. She has 7 or 8 kids. I can't remember. I think it was 8 children, single mom. And she's the one that talked about work-life balance. Oh, I got to strive this. No, you're not going to. So take that false vision out and just kind of go with it. Get yourself consistent. Pour into yourself. Pour into your kids. Proximity is power. That's why we're all on these calls. That's why we're jumping in to other calls and other Zooms that we do. It goes back to, who are you hanging around with? And yes, Stacy, I agree. An environment can change people. I was a big proponent of that when I was attracting people to my KW offices. Just because someone is not good at another office doesn't mean they won't be good in this culture. But then sometimes you bring them over to this culture and they're still not good. It's okay to say bye-bye. Dedicating, working for you. You have to pivot. Don't stop. Do what you do best. Leverage the rest. Know your vision. We talked about that. Give yourself grace. Average doesn't work anymore. You cannot just be average in this. Know what your purpose is. It was something that Mitch said. Just coming back to the mindset of abundance. And I think every speaker, and what we talk about on this call all the time, is your mindset. Are you coming from abundance? Have you sat down with, and this is me, no one really said this, but think about this. Your family's watching the news too. Most of our families don't know what the heck we do anyways. They're like, aren't you going to go to work? You're selling, Brad, I'm looking over. Sorry, Brad. I just went over to you. They honestly don't know what we're doing. And they don't know what questions to ask you. So think about this. If you're the primary breadwinner, or you're the person who, is really supplementing all the other things, does your spouse, significant other, whatever you want to call them, her, what, do they know that you're going to be okay? Or are they afraid to ask and have that conversation? Because what are they thinking? What's your family thinking? You know, is your father saying, boy, when are you going to grow up and get a real job? You're not going to make any money. Everybody's getting out of business. So I challenge you, if your family's not involved with your business or you think they don't understand, sit down and have a conversation with them. Let them know it's going to be okay. Because they're probably scared too, and they don't know how to approach that subject. Invite people to local events, get them on these Zooms, guys. This is not just for EXP people. We're open to everybody. If you introduce 2 people in the next 2 years and they introduce 1 person, I forget the amount of money, but it was like maybe 60,000 a month in a referral fees. And again, we're calling for referral fees. This was a cool exercise. How many of you did this on the ship? Text 10 people and ask them, just ask the question, what am I good at? Dee Dee, did you do that?
I mean, me just plug in. Yes,
Okay.
I texted all my closest friends. Most our parents are at school, and I did get responses. Some are waiting to meet in person so we can discuss each other's. But mine came back as a good person to comfort you, a good person to just chat with, easy, approachable, easy to make friends with, caring, being kind, sticking to her word, which is very nice. And I guess chicken scratch. Yeah, that's about it. I'm waiting for the others, but things
So-
like that.
This hour went by really fast. We got like 3 minutes. This is filled with energy. So take away what I would love for you guys to do, and you all have my number. You can text me or put it in the workplace chat if you're vulnerable enough. Do that exercise. Text 10 people and just say, hey, what am I good at? You know, what am I good at? Text me if you want. If you don't know 10 people, text people on this chat box here, this Zoom. Anybody have a burning, I'm on fire. I caught the Brent bug, man. I got it this time. I mean, I
did
really, I cannot stop. I'm so excited. I hired Blended Sense. I got on a contract with them. They were on the ship. That I actually contacted the gentleman, Kev, who was filming, and talked to Albert. I'm filming again tomorrow because the dude lives in Orlando. I mean, I got to get all this energy out. So, Eugene,
Yes.
close us out, man. Because he's branded as Crockett the Rocket. And you live down on the Space Coast and everything else. But just wrap this all up. You got 2 minutes. Or well, if we go over, it's fine. If you have to leave, you have to leave. But
to me, I was just enlightened, right? Seeing somebody like Coach Bird for the first time, I felt myself very relatable to some of these people. When Coach Bird said at 30 years of age, he was burnt out, okay? And 2 things happen when you get burnt out. You could, fight or flight, right? And so he fought. And now Coach Bird is one of the most amazing, recognized coaches in the world. And then you look at somebody like Gogo. She came to this country as an immigrant, didn't know what she was going to do, decided to be a helper with children and au pair. And her first year she did 16,000. How many of us will do 3 months of open houses and not get anything and say it sucks? Right? If she would have taken that 16,000 on that first year and said, this isn't for me, then there'd be no go-go right now. So we are all human at the end of the day. And I came in as a stockbroker from 19 years of age to my mid 30s, my late, whatever. And I was burnt out. Right. And then I look at that decision that I made to try real estate and how this whole journey, I wouldn't go back and change one thing. The same thing, Coach Bird wouldn't go back and change everything that he got because all those skills of coaching those kids for all those years. Same thing with Go-Go. So these people, one thing about EXP, I think even some of these people like Go, and even Coach Bird, who's not an EXP agent. When you come under this umbrella, you just want to give. You want to help, and you didn't even know that you were that type of person. I bet Gogo didn't think she was that type of person, and even myself. And so when you just come here, it's real. So I just don't want to hear people say, anybody, that, well, I don't know how to do this. Expand, go on Workplace, reach out to somebody on Workplace Chat. I mean, Leo just called Stacy back. This is the CEO of a 90,000 agent organization, reaching out to people. This does not happen. And
I can assure you it doesn't happen, because I was at that other company and he was not approachable. Trust me.
Right. And so, I just think that, look at Carlos Germain, who helped put this together. Mitch had been speaking to Carlos, and Carlos had been speaking to Mitch, and he didn't even get Mitch. So tomorrow there's somebody every day there's somebody. Brent said that right now it's people are separating and they're gettable. So you need to think both sides of that. Right now, somebody within everybody's organization is not feeling the love, even at EXP. And they may be separating and going somewhere else. So you have to look at both sides of it. It's not just everybody's gettable, but people could leave and go somewhere else. So complacency, right? I think the best word to sum this up is being unaware. And Coach Burt was really saying to be unaware of being in that debt zone. That is the biggest part of complacency, right? Just being unaware that you're in that state right now.
Love it. Love it. One last tip, guys. There are people leaving, and when they leave, if you have a downline, I don't care how many people are in it, make sure you're checking in on your peeps. Look and see. Tina's on this call. We're working on someone right now. Their sponsor left. And so these people are being abandoned, and we don't know when they leave. So it's our responsibility to look down and make sure that your levels aren't empty, and just reach out to everybody. We can't afford to have anyone leave. And the only reason someone would leave right now is because they're scared and no one's pouring into them. Because there's where are they going to go? The other companies don't have this. So it's 10:03. I could stay on here forever, but you guys are the best. I'll let you know who's talking next week. But please, 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 let's get Leo lots of people. He was on vacation. I'm sitting in my neighborhood coffee place, and Leo walks up and starts talking to me. So it's huge. You guys are the best. I don't want to hang up, but I got to get to Orlando. I'm a couple days late there. Love you.
Let's go.
Feel free to reach out.
Bye, G. Bye, everybody. Bye, Peggy.
Bye,
Ashley, I don't
Peggy.
see you. I hope you're well.
Bye, Peggy.
Bye.
A little bit of sleep today. We would have been too much for her. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Peggy. Bye, everybody.
Bye.